Sumer, the land which came to be known in classical times as Babylonia, consists of the lower half of Mesopotamia, roughly identical with modern Iraq, from north of Baghdad to the Persian Gulf. It has an area of approximately 10,000 square miles, somewhat larger than the state of Massachusetts. Its climate is extremely hot and dry, and its soil, left to itself, is arid, windswept, and unproductive. The land is flat and river-made, and therefore has no minerals whatever, and almost no stone. Except for the huge reeds in the marshes, it had no trees for timber. Here, then, was a region with the hand of God against it, an unpromising land, seemingly doomed to poverty and desolation. But the people that inhabited it, the Sumerians, as they came to be known by the 3rd millennium BC, were endowed with an unusually creative intellect and a venturesome, resolute spirit. In spite of the land's natural drawbacks, they turned Sumer into a veritable Garden of Eden and developed what was probably the first high civilization in the history of man. The people of Sumer had an unusual flair for technological invention. Even the earliest settlers had come upon the idea of irrigation, which made it possible for them to collect and channel the rich silt-laden overflow of the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, and use it to water and fructify their fields and gardens. To make up for the dearth of minerals and stones, they learned to bake the river clay and mud, the supply of which was practically inexhaustible, into sickles, pots, plates, and jars. In lieu of the scarce building timber, they cut and dried the huge and plentiful marsh reeds, tied them into bundles or plaited them into mats, and with the help of mud plastering fashioned them into huts and byres. Later, the Sumerians invented the brick mould for shaping and baking the ubiquitous river clay, and so had no more building material problem. They devised such useful tools, skills, and techniques as the potter's wheel, the wagon wheel, the plough, the sailboat, the arch, the vault, the dome, casting in copper and bronze, riveting, brazing, and soldering, sculpture in stone, engraving, and inlay. They originated a system of writing on clay, which was borrowed and used all over the Near East for some 2,000 years. Almost all that we know of the early history of Western Asia comes from the thousands of clay documents inscribed in the cuneiform script developed by the Sumerians and excavated by archaeologists in the past 125 years.